Hello all. In this video, I will talk about the basic work content or what do you mean by work content of a job. So before going to what is work content, I will give you an idea about what exactly is work study. So in industrial engineering, we come across the terms like work study and work measurement. So what exactly is work study? Let us start with an example. Suppose you are running a manufacturing company and you want to increase the productivity of the company. Okay, so in that job you are in that manufacturing company, several jobs are done for making a final product. Several jobs are done. For example, let us take machining or lathe work. So a worker will be using this machining or lathe etc to do a particular operation on a product. So your aim is to increase the productivity of the operation. So in order to increase the productivity of the operation, that means you need to reduce the time taken by the operator to do a particular job without compromising the quality of the product. So this is because the productivity is measured in terms of the time taken. If the time taken is very high, so that means you are not efficient enough, because if another manufacturing company manufactures the same product with the same quality with uh, a time lower than that of yours, then you will be beaten, you will be thrown out of the market. Okay, so to increase the productivity you need to reduce the time taken, but first you need to study or measure what is the time taken for doing a job by a qualified worker to produce a particular level of product with a sufficient quality. Okay, so this process is called work study. So that means work study can be defined as it is the analysis of a job for the purpose of finding the preferred method of doing it. So, for example, for a person doing machining, what is the correct way of doing that job so that the time taken will be the lowest? So that is the preferred method of doing it. Then determine the standard time to perform it. Okay, so that is what you mean by work study. In work study, an industrial engineer focuses upon finding the best method of doing and the time for doing a job using that method, right? So work study comprises of two areas. First one is the method study, that is finding the best method of doing, or it is called motion study also. Then you have the time study, that means you are measuring the time taken to do a job using your standard method. So that is time study. So with this idea, let us examine what is the work content of a job. So one more idea. So what is work study? See, we will discuss one more definition. So this is a generic term for those technologies, that is method study and work measurement, which are used in examination of human work in all its contexts, and which lead to systematic investigation of all the factors affecting the efficiency and economy of the situation under review in order to effect improvement. Okay, this is what we discussed earlier. Okay, so that means see, the relationship between work study and productivity is evident. Okay, because work study we focus upon finding the best method and the best time to do that. Then if you can reduce the time, that means product will definitely improve. So these are related to each other. So to go further, first let us see what is productivity of a man or machine also. So productivity of a machine or worker is calculated from the output produced by a machine or worker in a given time. But if you check, there are for different companies and you have different products, so it is difficult to measure the output. How will you quantify it? So the best way is to do in terms of time. So that is input of resource such as machine or man is expressed in terms of time given by them for production. That means for iPhone, let us take the example of iPhone. What is the total hours required to manufacture the iPhone, this particular product? This is the best way to define the productivity. Okay, so all the resources will be measured in terms of time. And what is the amount of time you need to work on a particular machine to manufacture the iPhone, okay, or any other product like that. So first let us define the productivity of a machine or labor is frequently measured as output of goods or services in a given number of man hour or machine hour. Okay, so the output will be, you can say that this is uses 100 hours of man labor or maybe 200 hours of machine. That means you need to run that machine for 200 hours to manufacture that, right? So we will reduce everything to time. So time is the most important thing. So greater output from the same man or machine hours indicates increase in productivity. That means for manufacturing of iPhone, if you require 100 hours, for example, Foxconn requires 100 of man hours to manufacture maybe one iPhone. So I'm just giving a number. If some other company produces the iPhone at the same quality using only 80 man hours, okay, so that second company is working at a much more efficient manner than the Foxconn. So this is how you measure the productivity, right? So let us see what is man or machine hour. Okay, we have seen. So man hour is the labor of one man for an hour. Okay, and machine hour is the running of a machine or plant for an hour. So this is quite evident and apparent. So to increase the productivity of a man or machine, corresponding man or machine hours should reduce for a given volume of output. So if you are going manufacturing a product maybe using 10 machine hours, then if you can reduce it to 9 machine hours, then you can see that productivity has increased. So this should be done without compromising the quality of the product. So in this video, we primarily focus upon the time work content. Okay, so to understand that, you need to understand what you mean by work study, what you mean by man or machine hour, what is productivity, and then we will see what do you mean by composition of time for a job. Okay, so time taken by a machine or man to carry out a job or to produce a unit product of output included. Okay, so we have seen that what do you mean by man hour and machine hour. So man hour consists of the total work content and the total ineffective time. Okay, so time to do a job. See, total, see this man hour means it includes the total work content and total ineffective time. So time to do a job is equal to total work content plus total ineffective time. Okay, total work content, maybe it could be done with 10 man hour, but sometimes that due to some ineffective time, that is a 1 hour, you need an additional 1 hour to do a job, right? Okay, so this is the concept of the composition of time for a job. Then let us see what is work content. Okay, so total work content is the amount of work contained in a given product or process, and the same is measured in terms of man or machine hours required. Okay, that means total work content is the amount of work contained in a given product or process. Okay, sometimes you can call that it requires a 10 man hours, okay, or 5 machine hours. So that is the work content. So the total work content consists of basic work content and excess work content. Okay, so there is a difference. So the total work content may be 10 man hours, but what do you mean by basic and excess? So let us say that for it is 8 man hours. That is the basic work content, and excess work content is 2. So total time taken is 10 man hours. So let us define basic work content. So basic work content is the irreducible minimum time theoretically required to produce a unit of a product. For example, the theoretical value is 9 man hours. But practically, when it comes to practice, there are several factors which affect the production. It may be due to the worker, management, and the factors which are not in our control. So to account for all that, sometimes you may need an additional man hour. Okay, so it may be some one. So this is the excess work content. So this 9 is the irreducible minimum time. Okay, you cannot manufacture a product with 8 man hours, less than that of this basic work content. Okay, so it will compromise with the quality of the product. So that is the definition of the basic work content. So I have already given an idea about work study. So work study, we are focusing on finding the basic work content of a job. It's the best method to do a job. What is the time required to best time to do a particular job? Okay, that is the aim of the work study itself. And so we are defining the basic work content as the irreducible minimum time. So again, basic work content is needed to produce a product. So it is the time needed to produce a product if design, specification, and process all are perfect, and there is no loss of working time from any cause whatsoever during the operation. So this is a theoretical case. So you need to keep these points in mind. That is, the design, specification, and process are all perfect. If the design is imperfect, you may lose some time for manufacturing that flawed designed product. And if the specification is wrong, it can also affect the time to do a job, right? But the basic work content includes the minor pauses caused by the legitimate needs of operators. So this is a man, this is a human being. He has got some basic needs. So this basic work content accounts for that. Okay. So we include that time also. So that is the basic work content. And excess work content is the extra time, that is, it is measured in terms of the man or machine hour needed to carry out the work due to improper design of product or inefficient method of operation. So it can be due to two reasons. What is, if there is any flaw in the design, and maybe our operation is quite inefficient. So by work study, we will try to fix these. Okay, fix these methods. So this is the concept of basic work content. So let us delve into the excess time. Excess time is the time due to a defect in design or specification. That is, time due to inefficient method of operation plus time due to inefficient method of operation, and total work content in which is obtained from time needed to do basic work and excess work in an uninterrupted manner. Okay. So the total work content we have already seen, that is the time needed to the basic. It consists of basic work content plus the excess work. Okay. So now let us see what are the interruptions in work. Okay, time loss due to interruption in work is known as the ineffective time or the excess time. So this can happen due to reasons like factors beyond the control of organization, problem caused by nature, it can be due to rain, lightning, earthquake, etc. Then man-made problems, that is power failure, it is one man-made failure, and factors within the control of organization. Okay, if we can improve these things, then you can improve the method also. and due to lack or inaction of the management, this is another reason, and then due to lack or inaction of workers. So all these contribute to the excess time. Okay, like it can be due to management, workers, the organization, etc. So what is interruption and productivity? Obviously, any form of interruption in work leads to reduction in productivity. We have seen that productivity is measured in terms of the man-machine hours. That means excess time. That means will lead to a decrease in the productivity. So particularly, interruption caused by the factors within the control, that is related to management of worker, are targeted first for increasing the productivity. Okay, so this is something which we can change. We can train the worker, and also we can make changes in the management so that excess time can be reduced, right? So these are the first factors we will try to control. And total time for an operation under existing condition is the summation of the total work content and the total ineffective time. Okay, now let us look at a graphical example. So this is the total time to manufacture under the existing condition. So this include the total work content. So the total work content includes the basic work content, which you have seen that this accounts for the legitimate needs of the worker and also the basic minimum time required to manufacture a product, and the excess work content due to defect in design or specification of a product. So that is the so total work content also includes excess work content due to inefficient method of operation or manufacture. Okay, so all these comes under the total work content, that is the basic work content, excess work content due to design or specification of the product, defect in design or specification, and excess work content due to inefficient method of operation or manufacture. Now let us see the second part, the total ineffective time. So this is in addition to total work content, there is total ineffective time. So this occurs due to the ineffective time due to the management, due to the lack of management, and the ineffective time due to lack of workers. Okay, so these two things contribute to the total ineffective time. Okay, and this excess work is due to the defect in design or spec, and also due to the inefficient method of operation or manufacture. Okay, so the total work content, total time to total time to manufacture includes total work content and total ineffective time. Total work content includes basic work content plus excess work due to design or specification of the product, and excess work content due to the inefficient method of operation or manufacture. And the total ineffective time is due to the ineffective time due to lack of management and ineffective time due to the lack of workers. Right. Okay, now let us see what is the work content due to product or process. So we have seen what is the basic work content, and plus you have the excess work content due to defect in design or specification of a product, and also excess work content due to the inefficient method of operation or manufacture. So this is the work content due to product or process. And what is excess work content due to defective design? So we have seen that in total work content, there is some excess time due to the defect in design, and also due to ineffective operation or manufacturing method. So how the work content is increased due to the defective design? So the bad product design. Okay, this design prevents the use of most economic process. So if you are designing, making a complicated design, then it is very difficult to manufacture it. Okay, you cannot use the most economic process. You need a special tools and special methods to manufacture it. So that itself contribute to the increased time in manufacturing a product. And also it causes a lack of standardization, prevents the use of high production rate processes. Okay, it is very difficult to create a standard method or standard tools to manufacture that because of this complicated design. So this also contribute to the excess work content. And also incorrect quality standards. Okay, so if you are if you want the quality to be very very high, this causes unnecessary work or rejection. This also will lead to the excessive work content. And the design demands extra processing. Okay, removal of excess material. So this also causes an excess work content. Okay, so the bad design or design or specification causes an increase in work content due to these reasons. And then you can see what is how the ineffective time is due to the lack of management. So excessive product variety due to the lack of improper management marketing policy. Okay, so that means, see, suppose the company is trying to market a lot of varieties of product. Okay, they are not concentrating upon one or two varieties. Okay, for a iPhone, for a manufacturing company, they are trying to manufacture a lot of varieties. So that itself will lead to an ineffective time, because that means a lot of varieties means you need a lot of different types of tools and layouts. So it is very difficult to create a standardized way to do that. Okay, so that means you should have a change in tool. Then only you cannot continuously run it, then it has a short run, leads to short run of the machine. So this all will contribute to the ineffective time. And then the another reason is the midstream design changes. Okay, so if there is any design change, sudden design changes, so this will also lead to idle time due to rework and stoppages. Okay, so these are due to the lack of management. So some of the excessive product variety due to lack of improper management marketing policy. Okay, so that is, we have seen that. That is another factor is the lack of raw materials such as tool or material for processing. Okay, if the management is unable to procure or supply the material and tool at the correct time, that will also contribute to the idle time of the man or machine, which will cause an increase in the ineffective time. And then plan breakdown. If there is no sufficient maintenance work is not done properly, then it leads to plan breakdown, which will increase the idle time of man or machine. And then you have the bad condition of plant, ineffective time due to the scrap and rework. Okay, so again this all contributes to the ineffective time. Then you have the bad working condition, forcing workers to take rest, causing ineffective time. So if you are not providing the basic amenities and ventilation, etc., a lot of things, if you are not providing the ideal conditions for the workers to perform optimally, then this also will lead to the increase in ineffective time. Then you have the accidents due to stop it, then you need to stop the entire plant. Okay, then you have the, so we have discussed about the ineffective time due to management. So what is ineffective time due to worker? So workers contributes to the ineffective time by his absence, lateness and idleness. Okay, and then you have the careful workmanship, that is ineffective time due to careless workmanship to scrap. That means if he is not working properly, then it will lead to scrap and rework. This will add to the time. And then you have the accident, that is it causes stoppages and absence. So this accidents can also be due to the workers carelessness, it can be due to other factors also. So this will all increase the ineffective time.